Welcome to the show. After the show, it happens right after the show.
Cheers.
We have special guests
Yay!
for the after show. Look, my wife Beth and her friend Emily are here.
Yes.
Woo. So we were talking today about how the Deluminator was created.
Yes, the Deluminator, which is like one of these objects that really seems like
Just innocuous. It's like you just accept it,
right,
at face value.
Well, it's rather underpowered. Like the ability that you see it do is not really relative to like everything you might see in the world of Harry Potter.
It is
it's like a remote light switch.
Yeah,
Here's my
basically.
advice, cleanse the carpets.
Right. Brilliant.
Like, surely there's a spell to turn off the lights.
See, we were just thinking, we don't think there is. Because, like, Mad Eye borrows it at some point, and it's like, is there just not a spell to turn the lights off?
Nox
turns off your wand.
Not the lights.
Not the lights themselves. So I think the
Ah.
act of turning off lights, like removing light from its source, must be pretty unusual magic.
Yes.
Even though
I
it
don't
seems
think
pretty
that they ever
basic.
did that.
Yeah, they don't. Like, in the movies, there's something where Dumbledore, like, waves his hand and puts a flame out, but, like, that's just the movies.
The big reason why I think this is so critical is because the next Fantastic Beasts movie is going to be the first one to like really start bridging this gap
Between the two stories.
Because now we're going to have characters that like we know
Right.
are going to be in there. So at the very least we have Dumbledore.
Yes.
And Nicholas Flamel in there. So sort of like as we were filming, we were having this conversation about like what if the two ingredients to create the Deluminator were an obscurial and a fragment of
like the elixir of life. Like
Yes,
it's
like-
like a really rare thing inside there. Because like that might explain like how it stays alive inside the canister.
right.
And maybe like the nicer part of it that like brings you to where your heart's treasure is or whatever.
Right.
That's not so destructive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do
Exactly.
you think that the story about Ariana's going to be...
I 100% think that
next
Ariana
movie?
being an obscurial
I think
is
it's just
true,
fact, yeah.
and it will eventually
I think it's true.
come out. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be in the next movie, but in
Is
one
it
of the
not
movies,
confirmed as true?
Not confirmed yet, but there's just no way around it.
Right.
Like,
It just
totally true.
it matches the description almost word for word.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. And it's like Grindelwald, and then Dumbledore's there, and it's like, why even bring it up?
We're going to let you get back to
Okay.
the show after
The show after the show. It's very
Which happens
free
right
form.
after the
It
show.
happens right after the show.
Right.
Yeah.
But we will see you later.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
for stopping
Bye.
by.
Thanks for letting us pop in.
Yeah, no doubt. So I think what I'm so excited about, I didn't even think about it in Fantastic Beasts, is that, like we did the Nagini video as well, it's like,
Yes.
what other things did you not know you needed the origins to?
Right.
You know? Like, a lot of people have said, like, what does Newt give Hagrid Aragog? And it's like, well, I would just assume Hagrid had Aragog, you know? Like, where did he get it?
Well, they say like he came in like the pocket of a traveler or whatever.
Right.
But like Newt could so be
that traveler. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he is so the one who'd be like, oh, yeah, he's not dangerous. All beasts are wonderful. He's very Hagrid-like in that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So it would be interesting, but you would also wonder like to what extent Newt would be willing to potentially endanger anybody because Aragog at the end of the day is not exactly a friendly.
Not exactly. Aragog himself, well, he does order his family to kill Harry and Ron. Yeah. So
Yeah,
there's
and then
that.
they fight on Voldemort's side.
Well, Aragog's dead. So the family is just sort of... I never really understood, the spiders' involvement at the Battle of Hogwarts. It seemed to me, because Voldemort, when Harry goes to find him, is sitting in, like, the spider throne area.
Okay.
So I feel like the Death Eaters, like, drove the spiders out, and they are just sort of...
Just like stampeding.
causing chaos.
So
So they're not really on a side, they're just dangerous.
It's the antelope in Lion King.
Yes, yeah.
Right,
They're just sort
like-
of stampeding
like,
around.
they weren't there to kill Mufasa. They just happened to kill Mufasa.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's collateral damage when you're a giant horde of spiders.
Exactly. So no, I think that's like by far the most fascinating thing about Fantastic Beasts is that like they don't want to be like overly pandery and like answer like big things.
Right.
But it's very cool for them to answer like little nuggety.
Right, yeah.
things.
So if you get because it's like, the origin of the Deluminator makes no big difference to Harry Potter.
Right.
But it does add a lot of context, and it makes it like much more than just like something Ron had.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And like where Nagini came from that would be interesting to me. Where Aragog came from,
Well-
just nuggets like that. You don't. Yeah.
Yes, and we have talked about things in Harry Potter that are just like so awfully convenient, and the Deluminator for Ron 100% makes that list. Like,
Yes.
like really like, I understand the number of things that Dumbledore could have predicted correctly about, like, Horcruxes and the Deathly Hallows because, like, he spent his entire life fascinated with the Hallows and because he had destroyed a Horcrux himself and he, you know, had this, like, interaction that he had been able to, like, draw out from Slughorn.
Right.
So, like, there are all these reasons why he could have predicted certain things. But why Ron would get this object that turns off lights is just so ridiculously random. So that's where I think the key thing is not so much even the origin, it's sort of explaining that like maybe the lights going off is just a secondary function of
right.
a more powerful.
I also think it could also explain that Dumbledore didn't think like Ron would abandon them. He might have assumed they'd figure out the power and like then it's like really always a way to escape, you know?
Right.
It's like you just
separate.
keep someone there with the Deluminator saying Ron's name over and over and over again.
Right.
You know? And then, or you would pull it out and say whoever's name, or someone would have to be elsewhere without it, and you would have it.
The point is, it could be
used.
useful.
They could use it for planning. That's when it could happen.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe Harry, Ron, and Hermione's interpretation of the origin or the reason why Dumbledore gave it to them was
is just wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Even Harry's thing, like he knew you'd always want to come back, and it's like that still means he knew you'd always leave. You know, like I'm sorry, like that sounds nicer, but no, I don't like that. I don't like that
rationale.
I don't like that rationale.
Okay,
there you go.
All right, well, I think that's all for today.
I think so.
Yay!
Yay, Deluminator.
Bye.